You think you know Boba Fett? I'm about to prove you wrong. Well, he's going to prove you wrong. All right, you may know Boba Fett. I'm not going to talk. I'm going to put too much pressure on this guy, but welcome back to Fort Mort. We got Vancele for Bounty Hunter video number 2. Welcome back, brother. Good to have you. So
what's going on, man?
We are going to talk about Boba Fett, who is crucial for many, many, many reasons. You've got to relegate this guy in order to get the best ship in the game right now, the Executor. You want to get your fleet payouts? You've got to get this guy. But why take him to relegate and not make sure he's modded beautifully, guys? Seriously. If you're going to put the investment of Relic 8 materials, at least mod this guy right. Please mod him right. Again, we're going to start out with how to mod him growing up as you're bringing up your GP, new accounts to bigger accounts. And then we're going to give you Vancele's take on some of the best ways to mod Boba Fett. Because again, the bounty hunters are super versatile depending on what you want to do. So starting out, let's go in and start reading the kit, and I'll have Vancele decipher this for me. On his basic, deal physical damage to target enemy with a 50% chance, 100% against scoundrels. To attack again, each attack has a 70% chance to inflict damage over time for 2 turns. So dots in there. I love this double tap, but it's so frustrating when he doesn't hit twice. Any way to make it better?
It's a I think it's a great basic. There's a lot of things going on here. You have a possible double tap. It's great against other scoundrels or other bounty hunters because you're guaranteed that double tap. But a bounty hunter that double taps is super important because when you have a call to assist from either Mando, Bosk, or Grief, or even Dengar with that RNG,
yep,
you can kind of cheat your way closer to that contract by attacking the character again, based off what the contract's recs are. Then you also are debuffing during this basic. So if you're under a Bosk lead, you're healing. If you're under a Django lead, you are helping throw debuffs out because you need to have debuffs for his contract. So it's, in my opinion, it's a really good basic.
And not off to go off too far off chart, but there's a bunch of these guys who do this. Boba can do it with a 50% chance, 100% against scoundrels. Cad Bane can do it. Django does it if you got debuffs. There's a lot of guys, and the key to that is what? Getting to contract, right? The faster you get to contract, depending on who you're running under, like Boss Lead, you need to hit that character 10 times to get to his contract. So for younger accounts, that's clutch.
Yep.
All right, Death from Above, one of my favorite abilities. And for a long time, I didn't even realize something in this. Deal physical damage to all enemies with an 80% chance to inflict ability block for 1 turn. And a 50% chance to inflict damage over time for 2 turns. So here we are again with dots. Inflict ability block on the selected target for 2 turns. I missed this somehow for the longest time. Like going against Night Sisters and I want to target Talzin to keep the plague off me or something along that line. I never realized that it was the target is pretty much an instant ability block.
Yeah, no, this ability block is one of the best ones in the game. If you can land all 5, that's great, but 2-turn ability block on a character, it can seem like eternity. Depending on that character. And then also you're throwing out dots. So again, the fact that you're throwing out debuffs with this ability, this can be a huge heal under Boss Lead. You're potentially looking at 5, 10 debuffs with one ability, and that's 50% health and protection recovery off an AoE from Boba. So it's a really good AoE.
I love the way you pointed that out too. There's double debuffs, which is given the excess healing, which is amazing. So if you can land them, hint, potency. All right, moving on. Deal physical damage to target enemy and dispel all buffs and debuffs on them. Deal 30% more damage for each effect dispelled. If this attack defeats the target, they can't be revived, and Boba Fett reduces his cooldowns by 1. Otherwise, healing immunity for 2 turns. This ability cannot be evaded, so it can't be dodged. And it's either going to kill a guy or give him immunity, which is amazing. Please elaborate.
Yeah, so, I mean, all those dots you're putting out from his basic and his AoE and the ability blocks and all the other buffs that they have, I mean, it's basically Culling Blade, but I think a little bit better.
Yes.
Because Culling Blade from Vader only dispels debuffs. This does buffs and debuffs.
Yep.
So if you're going up against like a Mon Mothma team or something like that where they have a bunch of buffs, I mean, this is you're just fueling this ability. And then, like I said, if you don't kill them, you're at least putting healing immunity on them for 2 turns, so you should be able to finish them off. And then, of course, you're preventing them from being revived. So,
and unlike Vader,
it's just a great ability.
They can't come back unless you're using WAP.
No, they can't come back. Period.
That's what I'm saying. From Vader's Clone Blade, you can revive.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So it's a huge one against, especially like my favorite counter for these guys is the Night Sisters, often because they cannot come back. There is no revive. Okay, Dead or Alive leadership. Do you use this leadership often?
No,
I don't.
But if you're a brand new player, this is one of your best leads. Actually, take that back. It's a good lead.
Yeah.
Until you can start putting together actual faction teams. Just because this has generic synergy. You're just straight up giving everybody 50% crit damage and crit chance. That's kind of good. But the speed and the potency, you have to mod your whole team for potency to get the extra health. But here's the thing. It's a flat number, not a percentage. So to explain this in a very, very short way,
yep, I talk about this. Yep.
If you mod your whole bounty hunter team with potency thinking, oh, I'm just going to make them super healthy, that's not how it works. If your whole bounty hunter team's at 100% potency, you're getting an extra 100 health per bounty hunter. It's not percentage-wise. Otherwise, this team would... Oh, it's 50%, by the way, too. So it's 50% of 100, so you get 50 health from every... I mean, 50 health is nothing. So... yeah, this lead is very theory crafting with like thermal detonators, but right now there's no real thermal detonator synergy in the game. Some people will place this with the Zam Omicron at higher levels just to have a fast team, but the thing with this contract is, I mean, his lead is the contract is not that great. You have to let your opponent go first. So his contract is, defeat the first enemy, it takes a turn. This means you have to let them take a turn, and then you have to kill that specific character. It's not that good. And you get tenacity for the rest of the battle. It's not worth it. So this lead, you can kind of use it when you're a brand new player, but after that, there's not really much use for it.
The reward, all bounty hunters have plus 25% tenacity for the rest of the battle, and their payouts are activated. It's not that solid. Yeah, I don't disagree. Bounty hunters resolve. At the start of the encounter, whenever he defeats an enemy, Boba Fett recovers 100% protection and gains Bounty Hunter's Resolve until he's defeated. This unit ignores taunts during his turn. When defeated, revive at 100% health, can't be dispelled, prevented, or stacked. This is great until you die and don't have the Resolve, and you need to kill somebody in order to get your Resolve back. Because there's nothing more frustrating than being able to go over and hit somebody, but then you die, and then you can't go around the taunt until you kill somebody. But it's a great ability otherwise.
Absolutely. And a lot of people look at this Zeta as like it's not necessary because this entire ability is already built into Jango Fett's kit, which is kind of unfortunate. This doesn't really feel like a Zeta, but it's really, I think it's worth it. Honestly, you pretty much are getting all, it's helping you with banners. It's definitely helping you get banners back when you kill somebody. So that's the way I look at it, at least.
He's a great character though. This guy is amazing. Whenever Boba Fett receives rewards from a contract, he also gains the following payout. Boba Fett gains a bonus turn, and for the rest of the battle has plus 50% or 50 speed and an additional defense penetration equal to 200% of his defense penetration. This sounds so confusing to me.
Yeah, the wording is a little...
This is another CG wording wonder.
A little bit. Here, I'll put it into... or easier terms. He hits really hard and he goes fast. I think the biggest thing here though is he takes a bonus turn. So he takes a bonus turn and he gets plus 50 speed, which means you really don't need to mod him to be that fast because the second you complete your contract, he is taking a turn. Which usually means he's going to execute somebody and, prevent them from reviving.
Yep.
So that really is nice and really helps alleviate modding him for speed or needing a lot of speed because he doesn't need to be that fast of a character because he will take one turn typically before you complete your contract, but then once you complete it, he's taking another one with that bonus turn.
See, I watched him the other day. Actually, might have been Conquest. He did a double aerial assault on me.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was so frustrating.
Yeah, so if you run him on the same team with Grief, when the contract is completed with Grief resets everyone's cooldown. So you could do back-to-back executes. Like if let's say you're at 90% contract under Aura and you execute somebody, he takes a bonus turn and his cooldowns gets reduced so he can execute again. Yeah, it's pretty cool when that happens.
That was pretty wild to see. I mean, I was mad because it happened to me, but at the same time, I was like, I want to know how to do this, man. God, that was frustrating. Let's look at, here's the modding from the, again, this is on swagod.gg. This is what the top 100 guilds or whatever are doing. The majority of them, it's 36% are doing crit chance with crit damage. We've also got crit damage and potency at 10%. Really drops off from the crit chance and crit damage. The best triangle is crit damage. That is at 73%. Offense is 50% with potency as the next follow on the cross. Circle is at very high on protection at 61%. And then, of course, speed is the number one and offense at number two, but you're talking 92% to 6%. I am a huge fan of the speed on it as well, as you guys can see from the visual up top. These are my recommendations. The circle for protection, obviously under the bounty hunters. Under boss lead, they get plus 50% max protection. So that's a huge plus. Speed arrow, because like he said, he doesn't have to be super fast, but I do like my Boba around the 230, 240 range. Triangle at crit damage. Crit damage is huge with this guy, especially when he's landing his missile or even his ability block attack from the aerial. And then the cross, for me, potency is clutch because like we talked about it a minute ago, if you can land the dots and the ability blocks from that aerial alone is freaking huge because the turn meter and the speed on it. Agreed?
Yeah, I think I have the way I have mine different is I actually just run offense on my cross, but potency, I have no objections to potency. I mean, like that 2-turn ability block is crucial. I mean, like, you know, if I'm going up against like a Sith Eternal and I'm taking bounty hunters in against Sith Eternal, when he goes into his ultimate, I am relying on Boba to buy me 2 more turns with that ability block.
And I can actually see where you're going with this too, because like right now mine's sitting at 118.05% potency, which is probably a bit overkill. So I probably could switch it over to offense because I'm going to drop down to what, 83%?
Something like that, yeah. But I mean, like either way, potency or offense. I just think when you get to the higher relic levels, like when you start to go to 7 and 8, you really start to notice the offense increase because that's what his mastery is. You really start to see those percentages start to really overlap and stack onto each other.
I'm glad you said mastery. I sometimes I forget to talk about this. Critical chance, critical damage, and damage. So those are the pluses. So when you talk about damage, that's straight up offense. Critical damage, boosting that. And then critical chance, you can't crit if you don't have crit chance. So develop points. So I was considering moving this a mod over to somebody else, and I think I'm going to do it now. So I think you just changed my mind. That's why I love doing these videos. Good call. Bring in
and
a
your Boba's
people.
Speed, by the way, is perfect.
264?
260, right there. I think 260 to 280 at Relic 8, sweet spot right there.
Beautiful.
It's fine.
Love to hear it. All right, I'll actually. I'm a big potency guy because I love landing the buffs and the debuffs, but I didn't realize that was such overkill, to be honest. But secondary stats: speed, offense, potency. Those are so speed. I actually have it on the top line. He's saying that speed's not as important. I actually agree with him after talking to him. Offense, potency, crit chance, protection, and then health and defense don't hurt at all. But the modding
and the crit chance will take care of itself because if you're taking this guy to Relic 8, he has it in his mastery, so you don't need to worry too much on it. And you usually will have at least 1 or 2 mods that might have some crit chance secondary on it anyway. So,
so you guys will see this upstairs. I've got crit damage times 4. Crit damage times 4, and then 2 potency. You can change them to crit chance, as you guys can see right now. Mine's modded or potency, so I either need to change these potency mods out or change that plus out because I can drop it down and afford to get more offense in there. And as you guys saw, a lot of people doing crit damage and crit chance, which I'm not saying is wrong in any manner. Half the community's doing it that way. The other way I do it too is you'll actually see my guy is offense modded with potency, and I was able to pull this off. I forgot about that because my guy's got he has ton load, trying to keep it clean, ton load of offense, and that's the way I like my Boba Fett. And a lot of it's got to do with the mods you have. I've got good offense mods. I could afford to put it on there. But crit damage, for the most part, is a good one to have on him as well. Where's mine at? I'm at 210% crit damage with offense mods. I am super ecstatic about what I was able to pull off of Boba Fett. So I don't recommend the way I'm modding in particular on my character because most people are not going to be able to do it this way. but I'm a big fan of the way mine turned out. How's yours, Mod Vancele?
Crit damage and crit chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you can offense is, it's fine. I always tell people when they ask me what's the difference from offense and crit damage, there's a difference on certain characters, but when you talk about Boba or Jango Fett, I always tell people whatever mods you have. Honestly, whatever mods make you fit the speed threshold, whatever makes it has the better secondaries, you're looking at a very minimal difference, especially when they're already at Relic 8. So whatever makes it easier for you guys.
And I wanted to put some of my best mods on this guy too, because he is one of my 2 Relic 8s. So it was a huge investment for me. This Boba is one-shot in full protection, full health characters often.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
you don't even need a bunch of buffs or debuffs with his execute. Once you get him to 8, he's dropping people at like with 1 or 2 debuffs. I mean, it's crazy.
His natural crit chance at this relic level is 92%.
Yeah.
And then I've got 200% crit damage, 3,000 extra offense. It's absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. This is one of my proudest characters on my account. So we already talked about the speed level. Relic Priority, I give him a 10. That's where I rated him. I think he's a huge one. Early on, I'm a little bit iffy about it. I didn't take mine up for a long time, but he goes with the Executor. He has got a ship, and the guy is just a key character. And I'm biased along with this guy on Bounty Hunters. How about you?
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, if you're going for the Executor, you got to go all in on him. If you're a player who's newer to the game and the Executor is way out of your field of view, I would say take him to Relic 5 and leave him there. I think Relic 5 is when you really start to see a lot of damage come out of these damage dealers, the ones that have crit damage, crit chance, and damage as their mastery. But again, if you're going for the Executor, you got to go all in on him.
Yeah, 100%. I boo-boo here. I've got it listed as lead priority and highly I swore he had 2 Zetas.
It's just the one. It's just the one.
I must be thinking of the Omega. So his leadership is which one? The Bounty Hunters Resolve?
His leadership is Dead or Alive with an Omega, and then his unique is Bounty Hunters Resolve with the Zeta.
So Bounty Hunters Resolve. That's right. Okay, that's right. So I didn't put mine on until recently when you talked me into it. And I'm loving it, especially at Relic 8. anybody that goes to Relic, I shouldn't say anybody. The majority of characters that go to Relic, I really highly consider the Zetas.
It's really fun in 3v3. 3v3 isn't around right now, but if you play Boss, Dengar, and Boba in 3v3 on defense, it is so frustrating when Boba Fett kills somebody because he's back at full health, full protection, and he has Bounty Hunters Resolve again. It's like the fight just restarted for him. So it's one of those Zetas. Yeah, you don't need it, but if you're investing this much into a character, you might as well give it to him.
Yep. I must have copied and pasted that one. My apologies, guys, for the error there. It is only 1 Zeta on the unique, so my apologies for that. But in the meantime, this is another great video. Vancele, the information is amazing. And actually looking at my Boba, I'm so proud of myself on this Boba.
You know what? Yours actually has more offense than mine. So
yeah, he's pretty disgusting. I'm very happy about this Boba, but shit. Anything you want to add to the back end of that other than ship harder?
Yeah, no, I mean, his ship was horrible and then it got reworked and now it's really good. So
help us out.
He's an important character.
He is. He's super important. And like I said, the Bounty Hunters are a great faction. Don't forget, guys, hit that follow button. I am human. I make mistakes, and that's why I bring on good guests that actually know what they're talking about. This guy knows what he's talking about when it comes to Scoundrels or Bounty Hunters. So as always, guys, thank you very much. Don't forget, we're hanging out over here as well. We are 1 battalion strong. Till next time, we got more Bounty Hunters to come. Appreciate y'all. 1 battalion strong.
Shut up and sit down.